United States of America, with its rich and diverse history, is home to an extraordinary array of historical sites that tell the story of the nation's past. From grand national monuments to preserved battlefields and humble homes of great leaders, each place provides a view of the cultural, political, and social evolution of the country. Administered and preserved in large part by the National Park Service, NPS, these historical landmarks not only educate, but also inspire millions of visitors each year. National Landmarks and Monuments. Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island, New York. Perhaps the most iconic symbol of American freedom, the Statue of Liberty was a gift from France in 1886 and stands as a beacon for liberty and democracy. Located in New York Harbor, it has welcomed millions of immigrants arriving in the United States. Just nearby is Ellis Island, which served as the busiest immigration inspection station from 1892 to 1954. Over 12 million immigrants passed through here, making it a deeply emotional and historical location for many American families. Mount Rushmore, South Dakota. This massive sculpture carved into the Black Hills of South Dakota features the faces of 4 U.S. presidents: George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. Mount Rushmore represents the ideals of freedom, democracy, and the American dream. It was completed in 1941 after 14 years of work and remains a popular destination for both its artistry and symbolic significance. Lincoln Memorial and Washington Monument, Washington, D.C. The Lincoln Memorial, with its grand Greek temple design and a giant seated statue of Abraham Lincoln, commemorates the 16th president's role in preserving the Union during the Civil War and promoting liberty. Nearby, the Washington Monument, a towering obelisk, honors George Washington, the first president and father of the country. Both sites are part of the National Mall and are central to America's national identity. Independence National Historical Park, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, known as America's most historic square mile, this park includes Independence Hall, where both the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution were debated and adopted. Nearby, the Liberty Bell, a symbol of American independence, draws visitors from around the world. Philadelphia's role as the nation's first capital and the cradle of democracy is captured perfectly within this park. Battlefields and military sites. Gettysburg National Military Park, Pennsylvania. The Battle of Gettysburg, fought in 1863, was a crucial turning point in the Civil War. The park preserves the battlefield and numerous monuments dedicated to the soldiers who fought and died there. It is also the site of President Lincoln's famous Gettysburg Address, which redefined the purpose of the war and the nation itself. Pearl Harbor National Memorial, Hawaii. This site commemorates the surprise Japanese attack on December 7, 1941, which led to the United States entry into World War II. The memorial includes the USS Arizona Memorial, built above the sunken battleship, and serves as a solemn tribute to the 2,403 Americans who lost their lives. It stands as a stark reminder of the cost of war and the importance of preparedness. The Alamo, San Antonio, Texas. A symbol of Texan courage and independence, the Alamo was the site of a fierce battle in 1836 between Mexican forces and Texan revolutionaries. Though the Texans were defeated, their bravery inspired others to continue the fight, ultimately leading to Texas's independence. The phrase, "Remember the Alamo," remains a rallying cry for bravery and resistance. Other notable historic sites. Mount Vernon, Virginia, George Washington's home and plantation, offers a glimpse into the private life of the first U.S. president. Located along the Potomac River, Mount Vernon includes restored buildings, gardens, and Washington's tomb. It helps visitors understand the complexities of Washington's leadership, personal life, and his views on slavery and nation building. Colonial Williamsburg, Virginia, this living history museum recreates life in an 18th century American town. Actors in period costume portray real historical figures, allowing visitors to witness colonial-era politics, trades, and daily routines. Williamsburg was once the capital of the Virginia colony and played a key role in early American governance and education. Martin Luther King Jr. National Historical Park, Atlanta, Georgia. This site includes Dr. King's birth home, Ebenezer Baptist Church, where he preached, and his final resting place. It honors the life and legacy of the civil rights leader who led nonviolent protests against racial inequality and helped change the course of American history. The park serves as both a tribute and a call to continue the work for justice. Mesa Verde National Park, Colorado. Unlike many man-made historical sites, Mesa Verde preserves the ancient cliff dwellings of the ancestral Puebloans, who lived in the area from approximately 600 to 1300 CE. These dwellings, built into canyon walls, reveal the advanced architecture, community life, and cultural achievements of Native American civilizations long before European contact. Historical preservation in the USA. The National Historic Landmarks, NHL program, managed by the National Park Service, NPS, plays a critical role in identifying and preserving America's most important historical places. These landmarks are recognized in national significance, while the National Register of Historic Places, NRHP, includes over 80,000 properties significant at the local or state level. The process of designation involves rigorous criteria. Properties can be public or private, but once listed, they benefit from tax incentives, grants, monitoring, and preservation efforts. While owners may object to designation, the Secretary of the Interior can still recognize a site as eligible, ensuring it is noted and valued for historical purposes. New York leads the nation in NHL designations, with 270, and New York City alone accounts for 114 of those. Other cities with large numbers include Philadelphia and Boston, each with their own deep historical roots. Some designations extend beyond the 50 states, including locations in Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and Pacific territories, reflecting America's broader historical footprint. Interestingly, the American legation in Tangier, Morocco, is also an NHL. It was the first American public property overseas and represents early U.S. diplomacy. Conclusion. From the colonial towns and presidential homes to Civil War battlegrounds and sites of civil rights struggle, the historical places of the United States offer profound insights into the nation's journey. These landmarks, the U.S. ensures that its history remains accessible, honored, and protected for future generations. Each site, whether symbolizing freedom like the Statue of Liberty, remembrance like Gettysburg, resistance like the Alamo, or progress like MLK's Atlanta birthplace, is a chapter in America's vast, ongoing story. Exploring these places is not just about learning history, it's about understanding the identity and values of a nation shaped by countless individuals and events.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I hope you love this video. Before leaving the video, I request you once again to hit the subscribe button and like after this video and share this video link and the link of the channel on WhatsApp group, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest group so that others get the same knowledge as you got. Thank you so much. Keep loving the world and keep supporting.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals that take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Edwin Sunny's GQ World. I am Edwin Sunny, making disclaimer from my side that this is the video I have created only for educational and promotional use so that a visitor, a fan can increase his own knowledge for the world. Let's begin today's video, man.
The History and Geography of Georgia, created by Admin Sunny for educational purpose only to grow your knowledge about the world. Introduction. The country of Georgia is a small but historically rich nation located at the crossroads of Eastern Europe and Western Asia, nestled in the South Caucasus region. Despite its modest size, Georgia's history is deeply fascinating, stretching back thousands of years to the prehistoric era. It has been shaped by powerful kingdoms, foreign invasions, golden ages and modern struggles for independence. Alongside its history, Georgia also boasts breathtaking landscapes, diverse climates, rich flora and fauna, and a vibrant culture that reflects centuries of interaction with neighboring civilizations. This article will explore Georgia's story in detail, from ancient kingdoms to the modern republic, while also highlighting its geography, people, and environment. Ancient Georgia, prehistory, 4th century AD. The lands of present-day Georgia hold some of the earliest evidence of human civilization. Archaeological discoveries reveal winemaking. Georgia is often called the birthplace of wine, with evidence of winemaking dating back located in the fertile Colchida lowland, famous for the Greek myth of Jason and the Argonauts seeking the Golden Fleece. 2. Iberia, Kartli, situated in eastern Georgia, playing a crucial role in shaping the Georgian national identity. A turning point came in the early 4th century, when Georgia became one of the very first countries in the world to adopt Christianity as the state religion. This faith bound the Georgian people together and influenced their language, literature, and culture for centuries. Unified Georgian Kingdom and Golden Age, 11th to 13th centuries. In 1008 AD, Georgia was unified under the Bagrationi dynasty, which laid the foundation for a strong and centralized kingdom. King David IV, David Builder, 1089 to 1125, expanded Georgia, defeated invaders, and promoted cultural revival. Queen Tamar the Great, 1184 to 1213, one of the most celebrated rulers of Georgian history, oversaw the peak of Georgia's golden age. Under her reign, Georgia expanded borders, fostered trade, built magnificent churches and fortresses, and became a center of art and culture. This era marked Georgia as a powerful king of the Caucasus, respected by neighbors and feared by rivals. Decline and foreign domination, 15th to 19th centuries. From the 15th century onward, Georgia's power began to decline due to both internal divisions and external threats. Mongols invaded during the 13th century, weakening the kingdom. Later, the Ottoman Empire and Persian Empire competed for influence, often dividing Georgia into smaller, weaker principalities. By the early 19th century, unable to resist stronger powers,
I'm sure that you are getting good knowledge about the world and keep on enjoying only one thing I want. Just hit the subscribe button like below this video. Keep on enjoying videos for lifetime.
Georgia gradually came under the control of the Russian Empire. In 1801, eastern Georgia was officially annexed, followed by other regions in later years. Brief independence in Soviet era, 20th century. The 20th century brought dramatic changes. After the Russian Revolution, 1917, Georgia declared independence in 1918 and established the Democratic Republic of Georgia. However, this freedom was short-lived. In 1921, the Red Army invaded, and Georgia was incorporated into the Soviet Union. During the Soviet era, Georgia developed industries, education, and infrastructure, but political freedoms were suppressed. Modern Georgia, 1991 present. As the Soviet Union collapsed, a strong independence movement emerged in Georgia. On April 9, 1991, Georgia declared independence. Since then, the country has faced significant challenges. Internal instability in the 1990s. Conflicts with Russia, particularly in Abkhazia and South Ossetia, regions that remain disputed to this day. Despite these challenges, modern Georgia has rebuilt itself as a democratic nation, aiming for closer ties with Europe and the West while preserving its unique traditions. Physical geography of Georgia. Although small, Georgia's geography is incredibly diverse. Relief and terrain. Colchida lowland, west, fertile plain, historically Colchis, rich in agriculture. Caucasus Mountains, north, snow-covered peaks, natural defense barrier. Lesser Caucasus, south, rugged highlands. More than one-third of Georgia is covered with forests, while rivers and gorges create dramatic landscapes. Climate. The climate varies by region. Western Georgia, humid subtropical, with warm winters and heavy rainfall, 40 to 100 inches annually. Eastern Georgia, more continental, with drier winters and hotter summers. High mountains, alpine climate, with snow and ice year-round above 11,000 feet. Soils. The Coquita lowland has rich alluvial soils, perfect for crops like citrus and tea. Mountain soils support forests and pastures, while eastern steppes favor wheat and grapes. Plant and animal life. Georgia's biodiversity is remarkable. Flora: oak, chestnut, beech, alder, fir, ash, linden, apple, pear, rhododendron, and citrus. The western forests are especially lush, with eucalyptus and evergreen shrubs. Fauna: mountains, goats, Caucasian antelope, black grouse, and eagles. Forests: wild boars, bears, wolves, lynx, jackals, and deer. River seas: trout, sturgeon, and black sea fish. This blend of ecosystems makes Georgia a haven for both wildlife. Georgians call their colonies cities, Greek too, meaning light of the South. The Japanese occupation lasted until 1945 and was one of the darkest periods in Singapore's history. Thousands of people, especially Chinese civilians, were killed during the Suchi massacre. Food shortages, fear, and oppression defined this period. After Japan's defeat, the British returned, but confidence in colonial rule was broken. Road to independence. In 1959, Singapore achieved partial self-governance under British rule. Lee Kuan Yew became the first prime minister. His People's Action Party, PAP, aimed to build a modern, prosperous state. In 1963, Singapore joined along with Malaya, Sabah, and Sarawak in hopes of achieving economic rivalry. On August 9, 1965, Singapore was expelled from Malaysia, becoming an independent nation. It was a painful moment in building a nation, struggles and successes. In 1965, Singapore faced massive challenges. No natural resources, high unemployment, housing.
While he studied, became a lawyer, and even wrote a book of all while being confined to the medicine. His story is one of extraordinary perseverance and adaptation to a mechanical life. Now here comes number 4, the man who lives in a sphere. Now he is Miguel Restrepo from Colombia. Now Miguel Restrepo, a former drug addict from Colombia, decided to live in a sewer tank with his wife and dog. The sewer, just 3 meters long, has become their home for over 20 years now. He once lived on the streets and struggled with addictions when he decided to quit drugs. His family and friends abandoned him, left with no money or home. He made the sewer his shelter. Inside, he has built a small kitchen, an oven, a TV, and even electricity. He decorates his home during festivals, proving that happiness does not always depend on luxurious life or from palace or from any well-cemented house. Happiness can come from any other places also if you are satisfied. Now here comes number 5, the man who raised his hand for 47 years. Sadhu Amar Bharati from India. Sadhu Amar Bharati, a Hindu holy man from Delhi, has kept one hand raised above his head since 1973, over 4 decades. He took his vow as a form of devotion to Lord Shiva and as an act of renunciation from worldly attachment. Due to keeping his hand raised for so long, the muscles have withered
and the arm has become stiff and stuck in position. It's a painful but powerful symbol of his faith and spirituality towards Lord Shiva. Now here comes number 6. The man who has not cut his hair in 50 years. Since 50 years, he has not cut out his own hairs. Tran Van He from Vietnam. Tran Van He from Vietnam avoided cutting his hair for 50 years because he believed he would fall ill or may die if he did it. Very, very ridiculous all these things to hear that if you cut your hair you may die. What type of thinking is this? Over time, his hair grew into a huge coiled bun, measuring several meters long and weighing several kilograms now. His fear of bad luck turned into a record-breaking achievement. He became known as the man with the longest hair in the world. Wow! Now, on number 7 comes another gentleman, the man who has eaten or drunk anything for 70 years. Prahlad Jani from India. Prahlad Jani, a holy man from Gujarat, claimed that he did not eaten or drunk anything for over 70 years now. Man is terrific. He believed that divine energy and air were enough to sustain him. Even scientists studied him in hospital for weeks and found no evidence of food or water intake. This is the proof of what you are voting for. Johnny also claimed he did not urinate or defecate, saying that yoga and meditation helped him control all bodily needs. His case remains one of the great medical mysteries, man. Now, here comes number 8. The conjoined twin who lived for 66 years, Rooney and Tony. Carry on from USA. Rooney and Tony, you are great, man. Rooney and Tony, carry on, were conjoined twins born in the US, United States. They shared the same abdomen and lower body. Doctor said that would not live alone. They will not live long, but they defied all expectations and lived 66 years. How medical failed us for saying that they will not live long. Where is that doctor? Then why are you saying if you are a doctor, you are not a God man? This is my interpretation for any doctor in the world. God has given, he will prove, not any doctor. You doctors only examine. You cannot be forecast, okay? Setting a world record for the longest living conjoined twins in the world. They formed in very serious during their youth and later become local celebrities for their resilience and cheerful attitude towards their life. Beautiful, very nice. I like it. What can doctor do? Doctor is not God man. Number 9 comes the girl who lives in a plastic tub. Rehma Haruna from Nigeria. Rahman Haruna from Nigeria was born healthy, but at 6 months old, a mysterious illness stopped the growth of her limbs. Her arms and legs moves, leaving her unable to move. Since then, she lived her entire life in a plastic tub, which her family used to carry her from one place to another place. Despite her condition, she smiled and
dreamed of owning a small grocery store. Wow. Her story inspired millions worldwide before she sadly passed away at the age of 90. So sorry for that. God will give you another chance, another life. My wishes, my prayer for this beautiful girl. So don't worry, I pray for your soul and in sunny here. Don't you worry. The man who lives alone in Antarctica is Alan, Antarctic researcher. Finally, there Alan, a man who lives entirely alone in Antarctica, one of the coldest and most desolated place on earth. He worked as a researcher or station keeper surrounded only by snow and ice. No trees there, no animals there, and no other human for hundreds of miles from the area. Despite this location, Alan finds peace in his saluted areas, and you can say sued, and has adopted to life in one of the hottest environment on the planet. Now, these are 10 gentlemen about which I have talked about. Now, the conclusion here is this story shows that the world is full of incredible and unusual individuals who live in ways most of us can't imagine, man. Where by choice, by faith, by circumstances, or by illness, each one of them teaches a unique lesson. Aruna reminds us of strength in pain. Number two, Amu Haji of defense against norms. Number three, Paul Alexander of courage in limitations. Now, next one is Miguel Restrepo of hope is poverty. Another one is Amar Arati of spiritual devotion. Dan Van Hay of faith in superstitions, and Prahlad Jani of mystery beyond science. Ronnie and Donnie, the two brothers of brotherhood in unity. Rehma Haruna of acceptance and the grace. Alan of endurance in loneliness. They are living or we are living. Testaments being to how was. He said it is a dramatic lifestyle and it goes like that with the God has provided. This is Edmund Sunny saying goodbye to all my fans and friends who are watching my video. Before leaving this video, I only request to hit the subscribe bell and like under this video so that you never lose the upcoming another story on this channel, and make sure to hit the subscribe bell and like on my all other music channel also, movie channel. Sunny's Explain Movie channel is just launched so that you can understand the movie story fully in my style. Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to follow the Facebook page, Instagram page, Thread page, and take care of yourself. Bye. Hello ladies and gentlemen, I hope you loved this video. Before leaving the video, I request you once again to hit the subscribe bell and like under this video, and share this video link and the link of the channel on WhatsApp group, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest group, so that others get the same knowledge as you got. Thank you so much. Keep loving the world and keep supporting.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals that take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Edmund Sunny's GQ World. I am Edmund Sunny, making disclaimer from my side that this is The video I have created only for educational and promotional use so that a visitor, a fan can increase his own knowledge for the world. Let's begin today's video, man.
Architecture, purpose, and cultural significance. The Great Wall of China, a monument of history, defense, and civilization. The Great Wall of China is not a single continuous structure, but rather a remarkable series of walls and fortifications built over a span of more than 2,300 years. Its purpose was primarily defensive, to protect the agricultural heartlands of northern China from the raids and invasions of nomadic tribes from the steppes of Mongolia. Beyond its practical function, however, the wall became a powerful symbol of Chinese unity, strength, and endurance. Declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1987, it remains one of the most iconic landmarks of human civilization. Early construction, fragmented walls of the warring states, 7th century BCE to 3rd century BCE. The story of the Great Wall begins in the 7th century BCE, when China was divided into small rival kingdoms. These states were constantly threatened not only by each other, but also by nomadic groups from the north, such as the Donghu and the Xiongnu. Chu State, one of the first to build defensive barriers. It created the so-called Square Wall, designed to protect its northern capital and territory. Qi State, constructed
In ancient time, Agra, the city of the Taj, and was the capital of the Mughal emperor during the 16th through the early 18th centuries, enjoys a close proximity to the city of New Delhi. Tourists from all over the world try to come here. Tourists from all over the world visit Agra to make a pilgrimage to Taj Mahal, India. Most famous architectural wonder in a land where a magnificent temples and edifices abundant to remind visitors about the rich civilization. The most well preserved and archaeologically you can say as far as art wise and beauty and the cutting of stones and its beautiful dome in the world made by various white marble itself looks beautiful. The English poet Sir Edwin Arnold had described the Taj as not a piece of art as other buildings are, but the proud passions of an emperor's love wrote in living. It is a romance celebrated in marble and glorified with precious and semi-precious at the way to appreciate it. Taj Mahal stands on the bank of river Yamuna, which otherwise deserves as a fight more in 1637. Shahjahan in 1631 of his third but the most favorite wife, in fact, is soulmate Mumtaz Mahal, a Muslim Persian princess. She died while accompanying her husband in Burhanpur in a campaign to crush a rebellion after giving birth to her 13th child. The death shocked the emperor that all his hair and beard were said to have grown snow white a few months. She instructed 4 promises from the emperor. First, that he built the Taj. Second, that he should marry again. Third, that he be kind of the own, buried him from continue to keep the last promises. Rises on a high, red sandstone base topped by a huge white. This is a very beautiful story. Huge white marble terrace on which rests the famous dome flanked by four tapering minarets. Within the dome lies the jewel inlaid cenotaph of the queen. So executes is workmanship that the Taj has been described as having been designed to giant and finished by jewelries. The only and the matter is the object in the Taj is the casket of the emperor, which was built beside the queen as an afterthought. Legend has it that during his 8 years long imprisonment and imprisonment, Shah Jahan used to intensely view the Taj lying on the bed through a diamond fixed in the wall, a particular angle. Wow! A tribute to a woman of exotic beauty and as a monument of a love story which is keeping us engrossed even when we are reading through these pages. Here will love ended as yet. The Taj reveals its Taj is in itself symbolic of a difference. The man gate is like a hail to a woman's face, which should be lifted delicately, gently, and without haste on the wedding night. In Indian tradition, the veil is lifted gently to reveal the beauty of the bride. As one stands inside the main gate of Taj, his eyes are directed to an arch which frames the Taj. The dome is made of rich marble, but the dome is set against the plain across the river, and it is his background that works. It's magic of colors that, through their reflections, change the colors change at different hours of the day and during different seasons. The Taj sparkles like a jewel in moonlight when the semi-precious stones inlaid into the white marble on the main mausoleum catch and reflect back its glow with a better gleam. The Taj is pinkish in the morning, milky white in the evening, and golden when the moon shines. These changes, they say, depict the different moods of a beauty of any kind. This is the beauty of Taj Mahal marbles, change of the color whole day. Different people have different views of the Taj Mahal, but it would be enough to say that the Taj has a life of its own that leaps out of marble, a masterpiece of the art and science of architectural tips and tricks. a representative of an era called the Mughal period, surpassing any authority to add or de-add anything in any sense in or out of the Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal stands with grace is not just a parable epitome of emotional and eternal love between and a woman, but for other reasons too. Emperor Shah, who commissioned the construction of the Taj Mahal, desired to create it also as a symbol of solemnity, harmony, purity. This is the majestic tribute to an exort would be half told if the like many a great building style has its myths and legends. It seems to blur history of the monument and have made their way into guidebooks, and some have been taken up.
The Acropolis stands as a symbol of classical Greek achievement. Parthenon, dedicated to goddess Athena, representing harmony and proportion in architecture. Roman Empire, engineering and expansion. The Roman Empire, 27 BC, 476 AD, united much of Europe under one political and cultural system. Colosseum, a massive amphitheater, 70 to 80 AD, hosting gladiator games. Pont du Gard, Roman aqueduct bridge demonstrating advanced engineering. Pompeii, city preserved by volcanic eruption in 79 AD. That Roman and Byzantine legacy, 353 AD. As Rome declined, the Eastern Roman Byzantine Empire preserved classical knowledge and Christian traditions. Hagia Sophia, built in 137 AD, it was the world's largest cathedral for nearly 1,000 years. Its dome is a masterpiece of Byzantine engineering. Venetian Castle shows layers of Byzantine and Venetian rule in the Mediterranean. Monastery of St. John the Theologian, founded in 1088, linked to the Book of Revelation. Panagia and Constantinople, one of the oldest Christian churches in Greece. Medieval and Renaissance Europe, 500 to 1600, image medieval period. Feudal kingdoms, crusades, Gothic cathedrals, and fortified castles define this era. Alhambra, a Moorish palace complex reflecting Islamic art and architecture in Spain. Notre Dame Cathedral, Gothic architecture with flying buttresses and stained glass. Doge's Palace, political center of the Venetian Republic. Renaissance and artistic revival. Europe rediscovered classical knowledge, leading to scientific and artistic breakthroughs. Sagrada Familia, designed by Antoni Gaudí, blending Gothic and modern styles. Modern era World Wars, 1700 to 20th century. Image Industrial Revolution. Europe led technological and industrial growth. Eiffel Tower, built in 1889, symbolizing industrial progress and engineering innovation. World War II and division. The 20th century reshaped Europe politically and emotionally. Brandenburg Gate, symbol of German reunification after Cold War division. Auschwitz-Birkenau, memorial and reminder of the Holocaust tragedy. Sicily, a living museum of civilization. Image Sicily reflects Greek, Roman, Arab, Norman, and Spanish influence. Valley of the Temples, 8 Greek temples in remarkable condition. Villa Romana del Casale, 4th century Roman mosaics. Mount Etna, Europe's highest active volcano. Alert Architectural Blend, Greek theater of tower, Etna and the sea. Puglia, southern Italy's hidden treasure image, tree of Alberobello, conical stone houses. Lecce, known as Florence of the South for Baroque style. Ostum, the White City, Basilica di San Nicola, rich site of St. Nicholas. Castel del Monte, geometric medieval fortress. Greek islands, mythology and maritime power image. Old fortress of Corfu, Venetian stronghold. Delos, mythical birthplace of Apollo. Temple of Apphia, part of sacred triangle with Athens and the sun. Pyrgos, marble craftsmanship heritage. Why Europe's heritage is unique. Over 400 plus UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Blend of Greek, Roman, Islamic, Christian, Byzantine, and modern cultures. Architectural evolution ancient ruins. If you'd like, I can also turn this into...
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you love this video. Before leaving the video, I request you once again to hit the subscribe button and like this video and share it with your I am talking to our channel on WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, so that you can stay connected with God. Thank you much. Keep loving the world and keep supporting.
Our hearts beat to the building. The night young, it has just begun.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Admin Sunny here. One thing I want to tell you about the Japan, why so many people of Japan, they are just banding out in the life to lead their own nations. As of early 2026, people in Japan, both citizens and long-term foreigners residing there are and fear, driven by a combination of impending natural disasters, severe economic pressures, and rapid social changes. According to the research and news report as of March 2026, the primary factor driving this fear includes fear of impending natural disaster. That is very, very important. More than 80% of Japanese people fear that a massive earthquake similar to the 2011 that is Tohoku disaster could occur in the future. This persistent threat combined with the reality that 70% of people feel unprepared contributes to a constant state of anxiety. Geographical and economic uncertainty, rising oil prices fueled by the Iran conflict are driving various types of problems and threatening Japanese economic stability. Many fear this will heavily impact corporate earning, leading to a rising cost of living and stagnant salaries. Health struggles. A 2024 survey reported that 78.2% of Japanese people feel anxious. They're very anxious, you can say, in record high with high rates of work-related mental health issues, particularly among those in their teens and 20s. Demographic crisis and social strains. Japan's population is just shrinking at a record pace of 908,024. The springing, you can say, the shrinking workforce has led to severe labor shortage, putting immense pressure on remaining workers. That is very, very dangerous move. Rising and social tensions amidst rapid social changes, there is an increase in Japanese fast sentiment and anti-foreign for long-term foreign residents in the country who feel they are being viewed as a burden now on the nation. Cultural isolation is in their language
use hikikomori, and roughly 1.5 million people in Japan live in a state of social withdrawal known as hikikomori, after triggered by work pressure, job loss, and anxiety. So let's move towards more about this problem. Thank you. Hello, welcome, friend. It's Sunny here. You are watching Sunny's GK World official YouTube channel. I am Admin Sunny, your host, and in this today's important video, I will tips and information about a very, very beautiful and renowned nation story that is none other than Japan. Here, I am just making it clear that why so many people, the public of Japan, is leaving their own nation. 90% of people just want to migrate from their dangerous located country called Japan. Do you know that there is a country in the world that is considered almost perfect in terms of technology, safety, and quality of the life? Yet, today that same country is facing a strange and serious problems. Instead of people moving there, they are leaving it. Is leaving their own country, Japan, and not just foreigners, but even its own young population is gradually moving out of Japan. Why? The big question is Japan really becoming empty? And if so, what is happening there in Japan to the world's fifth largest economy? Yes, we are looking about and we are talking about Japan, a country famous worldwide for its robots, bullet trains, and ultra-modern technologies and ultra-modern cities. And also beautiful models, beautiful girls, dancers, culture, tradition, all are beautiful in Japan. Japan currently has a population of around 123 million, 123 million, making it the 11th most populous country in the world on earth. Cities like Tokyo, Osaka, and Nagoya are also advanced that many people consider them a glimpse of the future. However, when we look deeper into the matter, we find a very unusual population pattern. About 2/3 of Japan population lives in a narrow street called the Pacific Belt. They called it Pacific Belt, a 1,200-kilometer long region stretching from Fukuoka to Tokyo. This area includes major cities like Hiroshima, Osaka, Kyoto, and Nagoya, and Tokyo. Nearly 80 million people live in just 10% of the country's land, while the remaining 90% is sparsely populated. Now, what is this going on there in Japan? Many rural areas are rapidly decline, schools are closing, villagers are running here and there to save their life, villagers are becoming empty, villages are getting vacated by the abandoned houses called Akia, increasing so much that the government is offering them at very, very low prices. One major reason for this is Japan's geography. About 73% of the country is mountainized, leaving very little land for cities and farming. Historically, people settled near coastal plains like the, you can say, Kanto, Novi, and Ai plains. 40 million people. However, before proceeding more on into this video and topic, I request you all to make it very, very clear to hit the subscribe bell and like below this video. And after clicking on subscribe bell and like, your duty is to share the video and channel link on WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and to the various groups so that people know each other and more people attach with these channels to get a proper and fair information. So it's your duty to hit the subscribe bell and like, and you can also watch my videos on Daily Motion channels, Telegram channels, and also on WhatsApp channel. So I'm talking about, however, the biggest issue now is Japan aging population and declining birth rate. That is very, very important. Every year the population is striking. Prime Minister Mamimio has told last year, has called this one of Japan's biggest national challenges. The government has introduced financial support for families, child care, subsidies and policies to help working mothers. But the problem is still not able to be solved in the minds of the people who don't want to live in Japan. Even former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe tried to address this through economics reforms and by increasing workforce participation among women and the elderly, but population decline continued. A new trend is also emerging. Young Japanese people are moving abroad. They are just running towards America, Europe, and other countries like Russia and all. Unlike, as I have told you, a new trend is also emerging. Young Japanese girls and boys, especially girls, after taking education from there, they are just running off Japan. Japanese people are moving abroad. Unlike the past, where people work their entire lives in one company, today youth seek better salaries, freedom and lifestyles. Countries like the United States, Canada, Australia and parts of Europe are becoming more attractive. Why? At the same time, fewer foreigners are choosing Japan due to challenges like difficult Japanese language, strict corporate culture, long working hours. Economically, Japan has also struggled since the 1990s asset bubble collapse, leading to slow growth. Future GDP growth is expected to remain around 0.5% to 1%, one of the lowest among developed countries nowadays. The
biggest concern is the shrinking working age population, which has already declined by about, you can say, 16% since 1995. Meanwhile, nearly 30% of Japan's population is now over 65, increasing pressure on healthcare, pensions, and government spendings. Although unemployment is low, around 2.5%, you can say the real issue is labor storages and low productivity, limiting industrial growth. Now, this situation also connects with India. India has one of the youngest populations in the world, while Japan is rapidly aging. This creates an opportunity to recent years. India and Japan have increased cooperation in technology, manufacturing and skill development. Many Indian students and professionals are working in Japan, especially in sectors like automobiles, robotics and electronics items. India could be part of the solution for Japan workforce shortage. However, a critical question remains still. If birth rate continue to fall, young people keep leaving and foreign workers don't arrive in large numbers, Japan population may decline even faster in the future. Despite being a major global economy, Japan is now at a turning point. It must find new solutions, whether through immigrations, economic reforms, and advanced technologies like robotics and AI entering. On this, one thing is certain, Japan's story is not just about one country. It may be a preview of the future challenges that many developed nations also going to be faced. As a creator, it's my duty to tell the entire world what is exactly going on in another country, not only in Asia or India, and not only in one nation. It's our duty as a creator, as a social media influencer, that I have to tell you the reality, what is going on and why these new generations running towards Europe, Russia and other countries and leaving their own nation, Japan. Please think about your country. Please respect and love your country. That is very, very important. This video will be also be turned and reformed in Japanese language so that what mistakes Japanese are doing will be converted into their Japanese language. After this video, next video will be turned into their Japanese language so that Japanese young boys and girls can understand what I mean to say and why I have created this video in their own language, that is in Japanese language. Thank you, and make sure to hit the subscribe bell and like below this video and share on WhatsApp group in between your friends and family so that they also know something more about the world. Thank you so much. Let me go.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals that take us higher. The night's young.
modern democracy. Spain's long and eventful history is the product of many civilizations: Iberians, Celts, Romans, Visigoths, and Moors, each leaving behind enduring cultural, architectural, and linguistic influences. Over thousands of years, Spain transformed from a prehistoric land of tribes into one of the greatest empires in world history, later experiencing decline, dictatorship, and finally a return to democracy in the 20th century. Prehistoric and early civilizations. Archaeological discoveries in Spain show evidence of human habitation dating back over 1,000,000 years. The Atapuerca caves in northern Spain
Hello guys, welcome. I am admin Sunny and you are watching my YouTube official channel, Sunny's GK World, Sunny's General Knowledge World. Know about the nearby and far away world from you. This channel is established only for the promotional and educational use to the man, to the fans, to the fans who loves to know about the world and the history of the world. This is a unique channel which describes anything in long form, in the form of long videos, so that step by step my fans, my followers and my fans can understand step by step clean ways. Today I bought this video concerning about the fact about the great country Canada. This is the story of Canada. Before starting this video further, I request you all that when we are making hard work for my fans and friends and followers around the globe, it's your duty to click on subscribe, bell and like these three buttons under any one video on this channel and share the link of video and channel on WhatsApp group, Facebook groups, Instagram and Pinterest groups. Also, it's your duty to follow me on Facebook page, Instagram page and on Threads. Our videos are also promoted on Daily Motions and Telegram channels also. Please search my channels and join there also. Today, I am here with the story behind a big nation, Canada. Canada's story began with the arrival of indigenous people. हेलो दोस्तों, नमस्कार। आप देख रहे हैं सनीज जी के वर्ल्ड। इस चैनल पर हम आपको बहुत ही ज्ञानवर्धक चीजों के बारे में, देशों के बारे में और पर्सनालिटीज के बारे में आपको पूरी तरीके से जानकारी देने की का प्रयास किया जाता है। आज के इस वीडियो में मैं आपको कनाडा के बारे में बताने जा रहा हूँ। कनाडा का इतिहास क्या रहा है। इस वीडियो को प्रारंभ करने से पहले आपसे मेरा अनुरोध है कि आप इस चैनल से सबसे पहले जुड़ जाने के लिए इस वीडियो के नीचे दिए हुए लाल रंग का वो जो सब्सक्राइब का बटन है, इसको आप दबा लें, क्लिक कर लें, बेल आइकॉन को क्लिक कर लें और लाइक बटन को दबाने के बाद इस वीडियो के लिंक को और इस चैनल के लिंक को आपको व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप्स में, अपने रिलेटिव्स, फ्रेंड्स सर्किल में के ग्रुप में शेयर कर देना चाहिए ताकि ये विशेष वीडियो उन तक पहुंच सके। ये आपका काम है और साथ में आपको फेसबुक, इंस्टाग्राम, थ्रेड साइट्स पर भी मेरे पेज और साइट को फॉलो करना चाहिए और हमारे वीडियो डेली मोशन चैनल्स और टेलीग्राम चैनल और व्हाट्सएप चैनल पर भी पोस्ट होते हैं, तो वहां पर भी जाकर चेक करके आप हमसे जुड़ सकते हैं। कनाडा का इतिहास स्वदेशी निवासियों और ब्रिटिश उपनिवेशीकरण क्या है ये मामला, और फिर एक स्वतंत्र राष्ट्र के रूप में इसके विकास की एक महान गाथा आज हम आपके सामने प्रस्तुत करने जा रहे हैं। इसी स्टोरी का इंग्लिश अनुवाद भी इसी चैनल पर आएगा। 1867 यानी 1867 में ब्रिटिश उत्तर अमेरिका अधिनियम के माध्यम से कनाडा का एक डोमिनियन बना और 1982 में संविधान के स्वदेशीकरण यानी पैट्रिएशंस के साथ ये पूरी तरीके से एक संप्रभु संसदीय लोकतंत्र बन गया। कनाडा का इतिहास के प्रमुख चरण क्या क्या थे? मूल निवासी और यूरोपीय खोज 15वीं शताब्दी से पहले 1600 हजारों वर्षों से स्वदेशी लोग यहाँ रह रहे थे। 1497 में जॉन कैबोट और बाद में 16वीं शताब्दी में जैक्स कार्टियर ने फ्रांस के लिए इस क्षेत्र की खोज की। न्यू फ्रांस 1600 से लेके 1763 तक यानी 1763 फ्रांस ने क्यूबेक में बस्तियां बसाई, जिसे न्यू फ्रांस भी कहा जाता है। यह क्षेत्र कर के व्यापार का एक प्रमुख केंद्र बना था। ब्रिटिश शासन 1763-1867 तक 1763 में पेरिस के संधि के बाद फ्रांस ने कनाडा पर अपना नियंत्रण खो दिया और ये ब्रिटिश साम्राज्य का हिस्सा बन गया। 1791 में कनाडा को अपर यानी ओटारियो और लोअर यानी क्यूबेक कनाडा में विभाजित कर दिया गया था। अब क्या है संघ? कॉन्फेडरेशन यानी 1867 की एक गाथा है। 1 जुलाई 1867 को ब्रिटिश नॉर्थ अमेरिका एक्ट के तहत कनाडा एक डोमिनियन बना, जिसमें अडो, रियो, क्यूबेक, नोवा स्कोटिया और न्यू पैसिफिक शामिल थे। स्वतंत्रता की ओर 1931 से 1982 यानी 1931 के वेस्टमिंस्टर अधिकार कनाडा को ब्रिटेन के बराबर का दर्जा प्राप्त हुआ था। 1982 में कनाडा ने अपने संविधान को पूरी तरीके से अपना लिया था और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन एक्ट 1982 जिससे ब्रिटिश संसद से पूर्ण स्वतंत्रता मिल गई थी। आधुनिक कनाडा 1982 के बाद आज कनाडा 10वां प्रांत और 3 क्षेत्रों वाला एक बहुसांस्कृतिक संवैधानिक स्वतंत्र राज्य जाना जाता है। अब हम लगे हाथों और भी कुछ चीजें आपको बताते चले और वो कौन सी खूबसूरत जगह है जहां पर आप आज की डेट पर जान सकते हैं। लेकिन उससे पहले कुछ और चीजों पर भी अपन नजर मार लेते हैं, जैसे कि मान्यता। कनाडा की स्वतंत्रता को अमेरिका की मान्यता 1927 यानी 18 फरवरी 1927 को संयुक्त राज्य अमेरिका ने कनाडा को एक स्वतंत्र राज्य के रूप में मान्यता दी थी, जिसके विदेश मामलों पर स्वयं नियंत्रण था। उस दिन विंसेंट मैसी ने वाशिंगटन में कनाडा के विशेष दूत और पूर्ण अधिकार प्राप्त मंत्री के रूप में अपने परिचय पत्र प्रस्तुत किए। ये कार्रवाई 1926 के ब्रिटिश साम्राज्यवादी सम्मेलन के बाद हुई थी, जिसके परिणाम स्वरूप बालफोर घोषणा पत्र जारी हुआ। जिसमें कहा गया था कि यूनाइटेड किंगडम और डोमिनियन ब्रिटिश साम्राज्य के भीतर स्वायत्त समुदाय है जिनका दर्जा समान है और वह अपने घरेलू या बाहरी मामलों के किसी भी पहलू में एक दूसरे के अधीन नहीं है। क्या क्या थी राजनीतिक संबंध? राजनयिक संबंधों की स्थापना 1927 में ही हुई थी। 18 फरवरी 1927 को राजनयिक संबंध स्थापित हुए जब विंसेंट मेसी ने वॉशिंगटन में कनाडा के विशेष दूत और पूर्ण अधिकार प्राप्त मंत्री के रूप में अपने परिचय प्राप्त पत्र प्रस्तुत किए थे। ओटावा में अमेरिकी दूतावास की स्थापना 1927 ओटावा में अमेरिकी दूतावास की स्थापना 1 जून 1927 को हुई थी जब विलियम फिलिप्स ने विशेष दूत और पूर्ण अधिकार प्राप्त मंत्री के रूप में अपने परिचय पत्र को प्रस्तुत किया था। बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें हैं जो कनाडा से रिलेटेड है और इसी कड़ी में हम आपको बहुत ही खूबसूरत और भी नजारे दिखाते हैं। साथ साथ में आज ये जो मॉडर्न कनाडा है उसके बारे में और हम आपको थोड़ी और जानकारी देते हैं। कनाडा ऐतिहासिक स्थलों का एक समृद्ध खजाना है जो वाइकिंग्स के समय से लेकर औपनिवेशिक काल तक की कहानी बताता है। प्रमुख स्थानों में ओल्ड क्यूबेक यानी यूनेस्को स्थल, न्यू फाउंडलैंड में लॉन्स ऑक्स, मिडोज एंड वाइकिंग बस्ती शामिल है और साथ में लुइसबर्ग का किला इसमें शामिल किया जाता है। ये स्थान कनाडा की फ्रांसीसी, ब्रिटिश और स्वदेशी विरासत को दर्शाते हैं। कनाडा के कुछ प्रमुख ऐतिहासिक स्थान के बारे में आज हम इस वीडियो में आपके साथ चर्चा करेंगे और हम आज आपको बताएंगे कुछ और छुपे हुए राज। ओल्ड क्यूबेक। ओल्ड क्यूबेक क्या है? ये 17वीं सदी का एक ऐसा शानदार किला रहित शहर है जो अपनी दीवारों यानी फोर्टिफिकेशंस के लिए प्रसिद्ध है, जो उत्तरी अमेरिका में एकमात्र बची हुई दीवारें हैं। लॉन्स ऑक्स मेडोज ये न्यू फाउंडलैंड के रूप में भी माना जाता है। ये उत्तरी अमेरिका में प्रमाणित पहली नॉर्स वाइकिंग बस्ती है जो लगभग 1000 साल पुरानी है। लुइसबर्ग का किला यानी फोर्ट्रेस ऑफ लुइसबर्ग, नोवा स्कोटिया, ये 18वीं शताब्दी का एक विशाल पुनर्गठित फ्रांसीसी किला है जो उस समय के सैन्य और आर्थिक जीवन का जीवंत दृश्य प्रस्तुत करता रहता है। फोर्ट एनी क्या चीज है? फोर्ट एनी यह है नोवा स्कोटिया में कनाडा के सबसे पुराने राष्ट्रीय ऐतिहासिक स्थानों के ऊपर अगर नजर डालें तो स्थानों में से एक जो कनाडा में यूरोपीय उपनिवेशीकरण के इतिहास को दर्शाता है। प्रिंस ऑफ वेल्स फोर्ट ये क्या है? प्रिंस ऑफ वेल्स फोर्ट हडसन बे कंपनी द्वारा 18वीं शताब्दी में निर्मित एक पत्थर का तारा आकार का की एक किला है। बहुत ही खूबसूरत देखने में, हजारों पर्यटक हर साल वहां पर जाते हैं इन नजारों को देखने के लिए। ग्रीन गेबल्स हाउस। ग्रीन गेबल्स हाउस एक साहित्य प्रेमियों के लिए एक प्रसिद्ध स्थान है जो लोकप्रिय उपन्यास एनी ऑफ ग्रीन गेबल्स से जुड़ा हुआ है। सीएन टावर ये यद्यपि एक ऐतिहासिक रूप से आधुनिक 1976 फिर भी ये कनाडा के इंजीनियरिंग विकास का एक बेमिसाल नमूना और प्रतीक के रूप में शामिल है। ऐसे शानदार जगहों पर देखने के लिए आपको कनाडा एक बार जरूर जाना चाहिए। कनाडा के इतिहास में और भी बहुत ही आकर्षित करने वाली चीजें हैं जो अब मैं आपको बताने जा रहा हूँ। कनाडा और उसका समृद्ध इतिहास। किसी देश का इतिहास केवल पुरानी किताबों या भूले किस्से ग्रंथों में ही अभी तक माना जाता रहा है, बल्कि ये देश आपको बस यही ढूंढनी होगी। ये पुराना किला, सुरक्षित गली व स्मारक इस बात का प्रमाण है कि संघर्ष, विजय और दृढ़ता की कहानियां आज भी हमें आकार और आकर्षित करती रहती है। कनाडा भी इसका अपवाद नहीं है। स्वदेशी विरासत निर्माण के महत्वपूर्ण क्षणों में से सबकी स्थान है जो है इतिहास प्रेमियों के लिए ये बहुत ही शानदार जगह है। जैसे कि वाटोचे सच्चे चेवान, ये क्या चीज है? ये यहाँ पर 1885 में लोगों ने अपनी आखिरी लड़ाई लड़ी थी। जमीन पर आज भी उसके निशान मौजूद हैं। चर्च की दीवारों में गोलियों के निशान, जो छेद उसमें आज भी मौजूद है। जमीन में राइफल के गड्ढे, कब्रें बाकी कहानी बयां करती है। पैदल चले या उसी नदी में डोंगी की सवारी करे जिससे कभी रसद और सैनिक ले जाया जाते थे। लेकिन ये सिर्फ मैदान नहीं है, ये सामान्य में ठहर गया एक कुरुक्षेत्र यानी युद्ध क्षेत्र है। ये दिल दहलाने वाली कहानियों पर लिखा जाता है आज का भविष्य और आने वाला समय लोगों के लिए सिर्फ मात्र घूमने का स्थान बन जाता है। जैसे कि डॉसन सिटी यूक्रेन, इसकी भी कहानी बड़ी अजीब गरीब है। 1890 के दशक के गोल्ड रश ने इस शांत जगह को आग अराजकता में बदल दिया था और यहाँ पर मामले गंभीर हो गए थे। सोने की खोज में उमड़ पड़े लोग ऐसे सपनों को पीछा करते हुए जिन्होंने कुछ को बर्बाद कर दिया और दूसरों को समृद्ध बना दिया और खुद कंगाल हो गए। ये सब दास्तान आप देखते रहें और इस तरह की हालात और आज एक खूबसूरत शहर, एक खूबसूरत देश जिसे कहते हैं कनाडा, आज दुनिया के सामने खड़ा हुआ है, जहां जगह जगह कोने कोने से लोग आज भी वहां पर जाकर अपना मन बहलाने का काम करते हैं। ये कोई मामूली बात नहीं है। आज कनाडा एक खूबसूरत राज्य के रूप में हमारे सामने मौजूद है और अब इसी का हम आपको इंग्लिश अनुवाद सुनाते हैं।
Indigenous, Native people, and colonial past. These sites help us understand how Canada developed culturally, politically, and historically over hundreds and even thousands of years. Some of the most famous historical landmarks include Old Quebec, L'Ensemble Meadows in Newfoundland, the Fortress of Louisbourg in Nova Scotia, and Parliament Hill in Ottawa. Each place represents a different part of Canada's rich history. Below is an explanation of some of the most famous historical sites in Canada. 1. Old Quebec, UNESCO World Heritage Site. Old Quebec is one of the most historic areas in Canada and is recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The city has a strong European feel because of its 17th century architecture, narrow stone streets, and fortified walls. One of its most famous landmarks is the Chateau Frontenac, a grand historic hotel that overlooks the St. Lawrence River. Walking through Old Quebec feels like stepping back in time to the early days of French colonial Canada. 2. L'Ensemble Meadows, Newfoundland. L'Ensemble Meadows is extremely important historically because it is the only confirmed Viking settlement in North America. Archaeological discoveries show that Norse explorers from Scandinavia lived here around 1,000 years ago. The site contains reconstructed Viking buildings and artifacts that reveal how these early explorers lived, worked, and traveled. It provides strong evidence that Vikings reached North America long before Christopher Columbus. 3. Fortress of Louisbourg, Nova Scotia. The Fortress of Louisbourg is a large 18th century French fortress located on Cape Breton Island in Nova Scotia. During the colonial period, it was an important military and trading center. The fortress played a major role in the conflicts between France and Britain for control of North America. Today, much of the fortress has been reconstructed, and visitors can see soldiers, buildings, and daily life recreated as it was during the 1700s. 4. Parliament Hill, Ottawa. Parliament Hill is the political center of Canada. Located in the capital city of Ottawa, it is where the Canadian government and Parliament operate. The buildings are famous for their Gothic Revival architectural style, tall towers, and impressive design. One of the most recognizable features is the Peace Tower, which symbolizes Canada's national identity and democracy. 5. Canadian Museum of History, museums, restaurants, and scenic waterfront views. 8. Hatley Park, National Historic Site. Victoria Hatley Park is a beautiful historic mansion with large gardens and scenic landscapes located in British Columbia. Built in the early 20th century, the estate is now part of Royal Roads University. The site is admired for its architecture, historical significance, and natural beauty. Conclusion. These historical places provide visitors with a unique opportunity to understand Canada's cultural, political, and historical journey. From Viking settlements and Indigenous heritage to colonial forts and modern government buildings, each site tells a different story about
So